Waterbox Live, everybody.
We're here.
Every Wednesday.
Pumped up today because we got a really good show.
We're doing something a little bit different today, which is going to be a lot of fun. So doing a little, how do you decide between salt and fresh, and kind of showing the differences and setting up one of each, which is really cool.
That is a question that's asked all the time. We hear it all the time. You know, I want to get into saltwater. I don't know what to do. Should I do freshwater? We're going to do a side-by-side build.
I think it's great. Love it.
10 cube.
Love it.
Rich is fired up.
Doesn't take much to please me.
All right.
This is very exciting. All right.
Oh my God. Okay. So, oh my God. So we got the 10 cube.
Look at it.
There it is. Look at that. Side by side. Very, very popular item, right? Low retail price on those Cube 10s. This is the Plus edition. On the left, we have the Plus Freshwater, and on the right, we have the Plus Saltwater.
Great reason we're using the 10 cube is because it can be used for fresh or salt with really no modifications. And we sell the Plus bundles with either the fresh or saltwater version of the Prime Light. So it's an easy one. A lot of people are like, all right, think about getting into either salt or fresh. What do I start with? This is a great choice. And we're going to kind of show costs involved and different things you can do with it. It's really neat.
Share the stream.
Yes, please share the stream, comment, guys, because we're going to start getting our hands dirty today. We're going to fill these tanks up, scape them live here on air.
Yeah, they're going to be up and running by the end of the show.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And then next week we're going for fish, right? And kind of overall cost analysis of what's involved in this whole thing. And then third week is now we're going maintenance.
Yeah.
So
give you the whole rundown of what do you want to do, fresh or salt. So, but we're going to start off by getting these
let's dive right in.
These cubes up and running.
You're handling the questions, Rich.
I got it.
All right.
I got to handle it. People love these 10 and 20 gallons.
Dude, they're so
Actually,
popular.
one of our best viewed videos from the live stream is the 20-gallon cube.
Yes,
How to set up a 20.
agree.
Yep. I'm about to kill myself on some rock over here.
We want to give you a closer look here, Keenan, of the tank.
Adam B says, all three of us should shave our heads.
Oh my
He's
God.
relentless,
God.
man. He's
Relentless.
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 Love it.
Should never ask a girl to shave her head. That's just mean.
Come on
That's just
now.
wrong.
So, quick overview, right, of the Cube 10 Plus edition. Starfire glass, guys, on all sides of the aquarium, right? So what does that mean? There's different levels of glass clarity, right? There's regular glass, there's float glass, low iron. Starfire is the top of the top, right? So this thing has a very, very, very low iron content, makes it very, very clear.
Yeah,
We're using black silicone, right, Jess?
Yep, black silicone on these. Also, a nice feature is that the back wall and compartments are also glass, so that you can use a scraper on those, clean them, and not like acrylic where you can't really get a blade on there and a lot of algae grows. Your overflow is etched right into the glass. And then with these, it's even coming with your pump and your filter media and your sponges. So it's pretty much set and ready. It's plug and play. You got everything you need to get going with it, especially with the Plus edition.
So it comes in the box. You literally pull this all out. There's a removable sock holder here, right? So people say, what's the sock, right? So it comes with these little filter socks where the water's going to flow through it. It's going to filter out all the big particles and then run through these baffles and this chamber.
Keep the water crystal clear.
Crystal clear. Always get fresh socks. Come on. So we're going to set up these tanks, right, Jess? So what's the first thing that somebody should do when they get this home? What are they looking to do?
My first thing is basically you have what's going to come with it, and it's going to be up to you on which one to use. But you're going to get some filter sponges in here. You're also going to get a pack of little bio balls and carbon. So depending on what you want to do is which one you're going to use these for. You may use them or you may not. So kind of decide, get the carbons in a bag. You want to rinse it if you're going to use it. But that'll be in your middle chamber. And with this one is going to be getting your pump hooked up. You're number one, because without a pump you can't move the water. So your pump is included. Has one little fitting that does come in the box here, and it comes separate. All you have to do is put that right into the pump here. Your return line tubing included.
I'm following along.
Right on. Am I teaching you how to do this?
Teach me how to do this, Jess.
All right, and also on the side of your pump is your flow adjusting from less to more. Just go ahead and keep that wide open. You're going to want pretty much all the flow that you've got in here. Fresh or salt, you still want good flow through your filtration.
Right. Now you may need to adjust the actual pipe length, right? Because it all depends. So once this sits down in the tank here, which would be behind here so you can see, we have to make sure that this all lines up with the hole inside.
Right.
So
you have your nozzle that comes with this here. I'm going to take those out And this is the part that attaches to the pump here. And this is all going to be on the inside of the back chamber. And that just slides right on. And you can use a little bit like a plastic hose clamp if you wanted to, but it is a tight fit, so you don't have to worry about that too much. And the pump's going to go right on into here. And if you are going to cut, it's very little that needs to be. And right through here, through the hole in the glass, is you're going to connect your nozzle. Super fast. Right in like that. And it's adjustable as well, so you can adjust where your flow is directed at. Then you've got your filter sock holder. Put your filter sock in place. Let's see here.
Dude, this is super nice.
We got Jake Perez with us. He's actually setting up a freshwater and saltwater water box aquarium this weekend.
Oh,
Nice. Too.
Nice.
And he's doing both. So
Very
That's
cool.
what we
I like
love.
that.
I find that most people that have fish tanks have done fresh and salt, or they move from one to the other, or they do them both at the same time because there's so much positive to each one, and they're so different that once you love fish, you kind of do fresh and salt.
If you guys want to take a look,
in place,
if you guys want to take a look back at our cube battle,
right there. Mine's all set and ready.
Dean, tell them
Yes.
about the cube battle.
Oh, listen, the cube battle, dude, was intense. Intense. Listen, I should have won.
I want to talk about who actually won the cube
So,
battle, and
Listen, Jess, I have to remind you, this is not a battle right now. Okay, this is literally, we're educating our viewers on fresh and salt. I'm going to handle the decorations of the fresh. You handle the decorations of the
So
salt.
this is a
if you so
neutral
choose to
setup
give your
here.
This is a neutral,
opinion,
very
we will
neutral.
take opinions on who you like, but it is not a competition
Is
technically.
heckling allowed? That's what that
Oh
is.
yes,
Oh, you
yes
can
it
heckle.
is. Yes it is. There has already
Heckling's
been that
allowed.
today, so someone's
Yes.
very confident in his
Is
freshwater
Dean
tank.
going to shave his head if he gets
Oh
heckled
my
the most?
goodness. Oh
No,
my goodness.
There's
Here-
no winner or loser here.
There's no
but
winner or loser, right? This is just
The crowd
so-
does want you to shave your head.
Yeah,
so.
I want to also point out, this is the clear cabinet, right? So we do sell these cabinets separately. It goes with our larger freshwater line.
Right.
Comes in oak or beige. This is the oak that you see here. This is a 36-inch cabinet, and we're using that to put our 10 cubes on top. So really nice cabinet, very modern, sleek. We
Right.
sell a lot of these, really
So
good.
now that you got your 10 cube, you got your light set up, we set these up real easy, got them
Yep.
onto the app for AI. This is the new hydra that we're using here on the saltwater.
Yes.
And the next thing, you've gotten all your stuff set up, you pretty much just have to put the decoration in and get it filled up. So the first thing would be sand choices. What have you chosen for yours?
Well, since I'm doing the freshwater build, I am picking some sand. Mine is a freshwater sand. It is not live, and I pre-rinsed it. So before the show, I took it outside with the hose, rinsed it really good, try and get all that kind of dust off of it, and it's just going to go straight in. So no bacteria, what have you. Jess, what are you going to do?
All right, so I am using a live sand. With saltwater, it does take a little bit more establishment as far as bacteria needs for it to be safe to put the livestock in. So I'm going with the Bahama Oolite live sand. This is a finer grain. It is also used in Eel Island, so it's a real like smooth grain live sand. So this is going to make the tank a bit cloudy because you don't pre-rinse it, but it does have the good live bacteria in it to establish your tank a little bit faster.
Yes. So any techniques on putting the sand in? Not really, right? I
Dump
guess
it on in.
Dump it in.
Yeah, not really.
Like how thick of a sand bed do you want on a saltwater maybe versus freshwater?
So saltwater is, I mean, the standard's usually like 1 inch to 2 inch. You don't usually want to go above a 3-inch sand bed unless you are planning to do what's called a deep sand bed.
Yeah.
That's something you have to kind of look into some options for. But usually, you know, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches is good.
Okay.
And it also depends on the kind of fish
Yeah,
or
Chris
enrichment.
says, are you worried about the excess light spillover from one tank to the other? These aren't going to be set up very long, so this is for mostly for
God.
demonstration. So, yeah,
Mostly
there
for
could,
demonstration.
definitely could be some light spillover, but
Don't.
Oh God.
That didn't go well. Yeah, I mean, if you were setting these up long term, you would probably want to put something in between them or not have them necessarily side by side.
Right.
Because the spectrums are so different, which is kind of something we'll talk about too. Because
this
if you're
is
not.
more for demonstration, so we're just showing you the different options here that you can set up.
Yeah, so education demonstration, you wouldn't usually necessarily have this set up kind of long term this way. So mine is just made a mess.
Making a mess.
Made a mess.
Okay. So
There you
I'm
go.
banking mine to the corner. Like that. I don't know if you can see that.
Mine's done.
Screams Reef says, do you still sell the 20 cube stand or the cube 20 stand? Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the 18 by 18.
1818, yes. Very popular seller.
As you can see, mine was much faster. I'm just
Well, you know, come on. Trying to be a little artistic here. Okay, so now we go to the rocks, Jess.
yes. So you are doing freshwater.
So I just have normal rocks like you can pull out of literally a riverbed.
We don't suggest doing that.
Don't do that, but just common rock, different shapes, easy.
Yeah, in freshwater you have like lace rock, you've got holy rock. There's just kind of like all different types and varieties on the rocks for freshwater choices. They're basically inert, so they don't really have too much of a purpose in freshwater except for just decoration.
Exactly.
Dean, tell these guys that are just joining what we're doing here.
So we are doing a freshwater on the left and a saltwater 10 cube, right? Kind of to show you the differences of fresh versus salt. Kind of how easy is it to maintain each, you know, pros, cons. Maybe your team saltwater, maybe your team freshwater.
There's
Maybe you're
definitely both in here. We got the planted tank with us.
Okay.
You said keep it planted. We got another guy that says fresh water is for drinking. So
Yeah, it's more that we get the question a lot from people that are just getting into the hobby and they want to get a fish tank. They're looking at Waterbox, but they don't know, do I do freshwater, do I do saltwater? So we're going to give you kind of an easy way to decide and give a kind of a quick view of like the maintenance costs and care between the two so that you can decide.
fun fact, freshwater, this is a fun industry fact.
Okay, go ahead.
Freshwater is 11 times larger by the amount of users than saltwater.
Yeah,
Wow.
I could see that. More people
11
keep
times.
freshwater. It's a lot of times how people get started with fish tanks as well. Your very first fish tank, Dean, was it freshwater?
Well, it was.
There you go. See, I think pretty much almost majority of people start as freshwater, especially.
No, for sure.
So saltwater's not as easy, or wasn't as easy as this back in the day.
So what kind of rock are you going to use?
So
Jess?
I'm using the Carib Sea Life Rock. So this is not technically live rock, but it does have some bacteria on it that's activated once it goes into aquarium. Live rock is very important in a saltwater because it holds your biological, and you need a more stable environment with saltwater because this stuff is more sensitive. So I'm going with this stuff. I don't remember.
Now the
what I
color
wanted to do
spectrums
with
is we got to point this out, you know, as well. Is that on the freshwater tank, it's a lot of white, cool white, warm white, some reds and greens, versus the saltwater, which is on Jess's side there, it was just more blue, right? So it's got the actinics, the purples, the UV,
Right.
the corals, and all need that different color spectrum. So, you know,
Yeah, definitely a different look.
totally different look.
And with the corals, you're gonna have those
Yeah.
fluorescents that pop out, whereas on the freshwater end of it, you're gonna have more natural colors. I say natural, but obviously the coral colors are natural, but you know, more of those greens and browns and such, which is, in my opinion, really cool.
Yeah.
Earth tones. There you
Earth
go.
tones.
Yeah.
There you go.
And like if you had your saltwater reef tank and you didn't use the blues, the whites are more like what grow the corals, but you won't get the color. So like you don't have to go super blue, but it is what actually pops the colors of the corals. If you go out into an actual reef, it's very brown, very monotone because of the yellow sunlight. And if you had the blue light on there is what accents the colors to it. So the blue is a lot for viewing in saltwater as well. But I just put 2 of those rocks in there. Pretty good to go. I don't have fake plastic plants for mine.
Now come on, now listen.
I'm gonna have live, living corals and organisms to make it
Listen,
really cool.
there's nothing wrong, and I'm serious, there's nothing wrong with using quality silk or plastic plants in your freshwater tank.
Yeah, no, you can make it look really, really nice.
It
We've
can
sent
be
some
very,
really
very
nice.
beautiful, ease of maintenance. I mean, it's really
I mean, this is a great
astonishing.
beginner setup right here. Anybody can
Anybody
set
can
up
do
that
this.
10-gallon tank as a freshwater and maintain it. It's pretty
Oh my
low
goodness.
maintenance.
Look
All right, I'm gonna get the
Cost
water
is
hose.
relatively
Go get the
low.
water.
Give you?
Now listen, you got to admit, mine looks a lot better. All right, don't say anything.
So we got Daniel asking an off-topic question if we ever did an update to the Zoanthid build from a while back. He says he's new from the channel. No, we didn't actually, because that tank got broken down And I'll just give them the real story. It was
Yep.
sitting next to a window that was getting far too much sunlight. So we did have an algae
correct.
problem. We ended up breaking it down. We didn't do an update on that. I'm sure in the near future we will probably do something similar to that.
Oh my goodness, guys, look at this tank. Look, get a closer look at here. How hot is that?
That looks pretty amazing,
That's
actually.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't know. Let's see.
what do people
Oh, see,
think?
the Planet Tank says that you're a poser, but he loves it.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I can be a poser.
It looks real.
It looks.
I love it. I think
Listen,
it
we're
looks
talking
good.
about beginner. Listen, Jess, they're already commenting they like the freshwater better. I'm just saying. Listen,
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
gonna throw it out there, all right?
But you're done. Like, you can't do anything more except for add fish. Like,
Okay,
I
is
get
this-
to add corals. I get to add all the cool stuff
Is this
in
fresh
there.
or salt?
Fresh.
Fresh.
Yours
okay.
is at its peak right now. This is the peak of this tank right here. Mine still has a long way to go.
Tom
Fire-
asked, are we
fire
going
in
to
the
use
hole.
RO water for the marine tank? Yes, we use RO DI water.
Yes, that's another great point. Okay, so
Are you
on
ready?
freshwater, go ahead. The you don't really need to use purified water for the freshwater tank. You can, but you could use tap water and just filter it really well. Use a conditioner. I'm trying to put it in real slow so I don't stir it up too bad. But in a saltwater tank, you have to use reverse osmosis water, right? Because you can't use just plain tap water in a saltwater.
Right, and you do have to mix the salt, have the salinity in check, mix it a certain amount of time. So, I mean, it is definitely more labor intensive to have the water ready for a saltwater aquarium.
We're not even competing here. And I got Team Jess's coming through all the way.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Thank you.
We got a lot of people that have watched the Cube battle, obviously, because
Yeah.
Team Dean, Team Jess, Team Rich.
Yeah.
Team Rich failed miserably in that one.
Yeah.
But that's
Jess
okay.
did win the cube battle.
Yeah, I still have the belt. It sits in my office proudly. No one will take me on to try and win the belt.
We don't need to
So-
talk about this.
No,
It was a sad day.
It's not a competition, right?
It's not a competition, Jess. We're here to educate, show people, and let them decide. Maybe, what type of tank do they want?
Now, granted, mine's gonna be pretty cloudy from the live sand.
Cloudy, Jess, you say.
Yeah. It's not a
Becoming a competition
competition.
really quick.
All right.
It was a competition before it started.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
I heard the chatter today.
Yeah,
you
the
guys
chatter.
are already.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of trash talking like all day about this, but mine will be clear tomorrow and beautiful and ready for these wonderful corals to go in.
One thing about the freshwater, it's instant, guys, right? So instant gratification. Plants go in, rocks go in, gravel goes in. It looks beautiful. There's no wait.
It is, yeah.
Right?
You're gonna
Saltwater, you're gonna have to. It takes time, right, to put those corals in.
yeah. It's a
You
much
know?
longer waiting game because your decoration is live corals and you've got to grow them, you got to get fragged. They
Yep.
take time to get enough in there. You've got the inverts and the snails and the crabs and stuff that you need. It's definitely more involved and does take a much longer time for it to become full and established looking.
Yeah.
Whereas like a freshwater tank in a week or two with you adding bacteria and like you're set, you're good, you're full, it's
Mm-hmm.
looking beautiful. So it's very much simpler to set up and get going.
Yeah.
If you feel like challenges, saltwater is a good way to go.
Now, what type of fish would you keep in something like this, Jess, in a 10 cube?
For freshwater, for saltwater, you definitely have to keep a lot smaller, like small gobies, clownfish, cardinals. You definitely want small, peaceful stuff. So, and focusing on inverts is going to be pretty cool. Like the shrimp and crabs and stuff will be in there. But you can't have tangs, you can't have anthias, you can't have butterflies. Any of those real common that people associate saltwater with are not going to fit in a small tank. You got to have pretty big tanks for that.
Could you put 1 or 2 clownfish in that tank?
Yeah, if you did pretty much 2 clownfish, you're mostly done.
You're done.
They're territorial, so you do have to be real cautious on the smaller tanks with saltwater of what you pick because you are very, very limited. Whereas in freshwater, you can fit more fish in a 10-gallon.
It's true. The fish usually are a lot smaller.
They're not
in
as
the freshwater.
aggressive. They don't need as much space, technically.
Yeah.
Joel says, what size are these tanks? They are the Cube 10, so they're 10 gallons.
I'll fill mine from the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cube 10s.
So you do have to be real cautious if you do fresh or salt. No matter what size tank you pick is going to determine what kind of fish and how many you can put in there.
Absolutely.
A lot of people want to do saltwater and they're like, oh, a yellow tang or a blue hippo. is like that's what they want to do. That takes big tanks. It's not going to be a small, easy startup.
4 foot or bigger on some stuff like that.
Yeah. So keep that in mind before you choose which way you want to go with.
But once again, guys, so the Cube 10s, salt or fresh, the filtration's the same, pretty much. It's all built-in filtration, plug and play. It's very easy. It's got the Micron sock here. We've got our biomedia, some sponges here, and then a baffle for the pump to go in. So the water just kind of flows through. It's really easy. I mean, it's like a no-brainer. I call plug and play.
We're running these exactly the same. We're going to put a heater in them, and just basically we're running them as is, plug and play system, just different lights for fresh versus salt.
Yeah.
And what you put in them is going to be what's going to vary the most. So, budgetary, the starting cost is going to be about the same.
About the same, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
So startup cost is almost pretty much between these is very identical versus once you start stocking it is when we'll start talking about a lot of difference in cost.
That's true.
On that one.
Now you'll notice that mine's a lot clearer than Jess's. Look at that. Look at that, and then look at that.
Hey.
But listen, that's normal, right? So people need to understand. Your first tank is a saltwater tank. This is what you're going to expect.
Yeah.
You know
if
what I
you
mean?
use live sand, you don't rinse it, so it's going to be cloudy. Now, if you hadn't rinsed your sand, or if I used dry sand and I didn't rinse
That's
it,
true,
it would be super cloudy.
Yeah.
You just can't go and rinse live sand if you want to keep that bacteria alive.
That's
correct.
But this is normal, so don't freak out if your tank is looking like this when you first set it up.
It'll clear up in typically about 24 hours.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Tomorrow
about
we
24
walk
hours.
in here and it'll be clear and good to go.
I'm just
New change our
razzing her.
filter sock.
That's all right. We're getting close to finishing here.
Arson says, do they come with a timer for the light? That's a great question.
The lights are built in. So there's a My AI app that is free in the App Store that you can download, and it has full controllability. You can pick the colors, the timers.
All right, so you can control each LED channel and color. It's really easy to set up, and we actually have blueprints on our website. Is that right, Dean?
Correct.
So we have blueprints on our website that you can download the lighting schedules for these already. So the timer's built in, and it's controlled through an app that you would use on your cell phone or a tablet, which is both on Android or Apple.
Yes, the great thing with these lights is you have full controllability on the app. You can do different color spectrums.
But we need to plug them in too, right?
Saltwater version can go into pretty much full white, full blue.
Dang, man, I'm telling you, these things look
Well,
great.
yeah, I mean, initially yours definitely looks much nicer today because
right.
we can't see in mine, but
We can do a follow-up tomorrow.
yeah, and we'll see them next week
post
too.
that.
I will say you did very well with yours. It looks very nice.
What do you think about my skate?
Looks really good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
A little color in there,
man.
nice plants, a lot
Look
of
at
open
that.
space.
Oh, snap.
Mine's really just white and cloudy at the moment.
It's funny when you see them side to side, especially when you're setting up the stark contrast between the two, especially if you're using live sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can
So-
tell the. But you can see the blue hue there, you know, as well. But it looks really, really good. But look how fast. Also, let's talk about that. How fast did we just do this?
Yeah, that was easy. Up and running.
Yeah,
Plug and
less than
play is
30
really the
minutes.
word for it.
Yeah.
You have to do very little. Get up and running. It comes with a pump and everything you need. You get the Plus Edition. It's got the light to it. And you just got to have, depending on which way you're going with it, the stuff rock, sand, and water pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, it's so simple, guys. And then also, Rich, how much is a tank like this? I mean, the 10 cube,
I think you would retail for $129.
129.
You put the light on it, and I think you're right around $350, $370 or so.
Dude,
And that's a
full
pretty,
setup.
that's a really nice light too. That's not your standard
No.
strip light or something like that. It's
No.
all wirelessly controlled, high quality LEDs made here in the United States.
Totally agree. So we want to run
Looking
through some
good.
quick slides that we prepared for you. Check this out, guys. So for side by side, so fresh or salt, how to decide what's right for you. The first topic, go to the next slide. Here we go. So the equipment that's needed, right? So you'll see on the left, we've got the freshwater versus saltwater. Pretty much almost identical, Jess, right? I
All right, so the tank is the same. The lights can be a
heater.
little bit different. Heater, return pump. That's all comes with the addition when you do it. Now the main difference is like you're doing gravel or sand for freshwater. You're gonna have live sand. You're gonna have rock and driftwood.
Yeah.
We have dry rock or that life rock. You know, decorative plants. We don't have anything in the saltwater one yet, but you have to use
Right.
reverse osmosis water. You need a hydrometer, refractometer test for salinity.
Both need bacteria.
Need bacteria to get established.
All right, hit the next slide. So here's the benefits, right? So freshwater benefits versus saltwater benefits. I mean, in freshwater, man, the low cost of the livestock, it's fairly cheap. There's a large variety. The white light, got the natural look. Maintenance is fairly easy. Parameter testing is very easy. You can throw some flake food in there. A little more forgiving, right? Instant results, and you can use tap water.
Granted, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay, benefits of saltwater. Color of livestock, it's what grabs everyone's attention right away for saltwater. It's very bright and colorful. There's a large variety. You have that blue spectrum light, which
A lot of people like it.
People like the blue light to it.
Yeah.
And you get that natural reef type look to it.
Correct.
And you get to keep live corals, cool shrimp, and invertebrates. It is a little bit more challenging, which is enjoyable if you've been doing it for a while. You
Some
wanna
people
get
like
into
that.
something.
They want the challenge.
You can, if you're doing corals, you can frag and grow your corals. And you know, the Waterbox models make it very easy with being plug and play.
Yes. So the Waterbox plug and play for saltwater throughout our whole lineup, literally
Ready to
there's
go.
no cutting of pipes, right? Rich, I mean, it's like
Yeah,
we're
it makes
going.
it super easy
Super
to set
easy.
up. And that goes
Yeah.
for all of our models.
Yeah. So here you can see what a freshwater scape would look like versus a saltwater scape.
Yeah, very different looks. They're completely opposite.
Complete opposite.
For sure.
But you need to decide, you know, when you're trying to make this decision of which tank to get from Waterbox, you know, what kind of look am I going for?
Exactly.
You know, so either way. And then now we got to talk about the negatives. All right, and we got to be.
Your list looks a lot shorter than mine. I don't know.
Listen,
Would that have been done intentionally?
well,
I had to moderate the making of these slides and try and make
Listen.
it somewhat, but it was very
freshwater
biased.
negatives, limited color variance, natural white light. Some people don't like that. Less flow patterns, right? So some people like the flowy corals back and forth. The live plants do require maintenance. And then also select models of freshwater do require filtration, like a canister filter, hang on the back, something like that.
Yeah, your larger
Something
clear models.
Something additional,
Yeah.
like on our Clear or Clear Pro.
Right, they don't have that.
But what are the negatives of saltwater?
So saltwater is going to be definitely more expensive than freshwater overall cost, and some people do not prefer the blue light.
That's true.
Saltwater itself is very corrosive and
Yeah.
can cause a lot of rusting around. Fortunately, Waterbox, we do make our cabinets and hardware and
Yes.
everything resistant to the harsh environment of the saltwater.
Yeah.
You do generally need to feed frozen food. You're mixing your own saltwater. And you do have a lot more testing to do,
yeah, some
especially if
live
you're doing
equipment.
live corals. There's
Yeah.
a lot of testing involved. You need more equipment in general. Your maintenance is going to be more frequent. Can't use tap water. You've got to use RDI water. Care level is considered to be a little bit more advanced, and it does take more time to grow and fill in.
That's true. So, but you know, a lot of people, they don't mind. They're like, hey, I'm okay with all that.
Not necessarily negative to
It's not
everybody.
really negative. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of like, hey, I know what I'm getting into. It's all good.
It's all good.
The next slide, livestock, right? So what's popular livestock on the left, you know, we got some tetras, swordtails, clown loach, tiger barbs, my favorite. You can get colorful freshwater
There is.
as much as colorful saltwater.
Right. So saltwater, I mean, people notoriously know Nemo, the clownfish, yellow tang, blue hippo, royal grama, anthias, cowfish, are all just real colorful choices in the saltwater.
Yeah, so either way, they're both really good. I mean, I don't know if there's a true winner. And then the next one, we're talking about next week. We're adding the livestock, and we're going to compare the overall costs side by side of what it's going to take to get these things up and running.
Yeah, kind of showing the next step if you're going with one or the other as your first
Yeah.
tank, and kind of what to add, and you know, just compare where we're at in that step, costs involved, especially once you start going livestock, which is where I think it might differ.
Yeah, I think that's where your biggest thing is going to be.
between the two.
Yeah. So guys, if you had any questions, right? I mean, there's a lot of people here on the stream today,
Yeah.
Rich. I mean,
Yeah.
This weekend. we
Oh,
have-
this weekend, right? Reefapalooza, Chicago.
Yes.
Jess Stewart is flying out tomorrow morning.
Yes, I'm out
heading
there.
up to Chicago. So if you are in the area, please go to Reefapalooza. Check that out.
Check out the Waterbox booth. We'll have one set up. Jess will be there to answer any questions and help you out.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
a whole lot of questions in here, but I
Okay.
would like to touch on the family reunion.
Yep.
Please,
So that
yes.
anyone in here that has not heard about the reunion, I don't know if Keenan, you can pull that up for me.
No way.
So family reunion, what is it? It's an aquatic industry gathering that we're putting on in the Florida Keys. We've
Come on.
chosen a beautiful location.
Yeah.
We're going to have a ton of sponsors, manufacturers there, as well as our retail partners. And you guys are owners or any hobbyists that are just interested in coming.
Absolutely, yeah,
So,
absolutely. And we literally just got back yesterday,
Yes,
last night. We
yes.
went to the site visit. So if you're not following us on Instagram, please do. We were showing on the story pictures of the event and what's available there. It's unbelievable.
Venue,
I
yes,
mean,
the
it's like
Looks absolutely
unbelievable
beautiful.
Paradise.
resort. You know, and especially if you like reef tanks,
yeah.
this is a great place to be because they have some of the most beautiful coral reefs in the country.
Yeah, look at these speakers that are also going to be there, right? Joe Caparata, Jay from Ecotech, David Hammontree, Reef to Reef, Scott Osei, man, Jordan, Frank, Bob Fenner, Chris Meckley from ACI, Jake Adams just came on board, and we still got more announcements to make. So
we're going to have speakers, workshops, we're going to have activities going on, we're going to have receptions, but not only do we have a lot of cool aquatic stuff going on, but you're in one of the most amazing resorts in the country. There's so much to do there. There are dolphin encounters. There's the saltwater lagoon that's feet from the pool that you can go snorkeling in. There's fishing charters, whether you want to go flash fishing or deep sea fishing. There's so much to do. You definitely got to make a vacation of it. Come down, hang out with your fellow hobbyists. Waterbox, we're going to be live on site, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yes, so those tickets, you just go to waterboxaquariums.com/the family reunion. There's a header at the top that's locked there. You can just click on the link, get your tickets. They will sell out, I'm telling you.
Yes,
it's
absolutely
happening.
will.
Yeah, so please get those. Guys, keep your comments coming. We're going to wait for these to clear up. We'll maybe post a picture on Facebook tomorrow to kind of show what it looks like.
When you can actually see mine.
But I think it's looking how it's supposed
Yours
to.
looks really good, yeah.
You know, it's how it's supposed to look.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's
It's
normal.
perfectly normal. So, fresh versus salt, you know, the conversation continues. Definitely check us out. Go to waterboxaquariums.com. Thank you for tuning in today.
See you next week.